What up, kids? Today we're baking, but we're also doing a Q&A because multitasking. So a while ago on one of my videos, I got a request to do like a how-to of how to make snickerdoodles because I was asking for how-to video ideas. And I don't have snickerdoodles. I'm sorry, Jeff. So I went with Blondies. Has nothing to do with the fact that my mom today told me you have to make Blondies. But that's okay. So we're gonna, we're gonna answer some questions from my Q&A while making this stuff. So first thing I have is I have some butter over there. The first question is from Mason. What is your guilty pleasure band? There's a couple songs by different artists where I'm like honestly, why do I like this? It's so lame, but I like it anyway. There's a couple Post Malone songs I like. Halsey, how you say her name. Here we've got our butter, browned butter, all melted. I don't know if I did what I was supposed to right, but because I've never made this before.
Yeah, I did it wrong.
What is your guilty pleasure movie?
First off, I need to stop clapping so much. It's really annoying. Second, did you see my magically reappearing pot?
I thought about it, and I think my guilty pleasure movie is To All the Boys I've Loved Before. I've only watched it like 1.5 times, and I went into it like, I'm gonna make fun of this, it's gonna be so stupid. And at the end of the day, it's not that great of a movie. I don't like it so much as I like watching it because it's entertaining. Now we're gonna take our sugar, and we need 2 cups of sugar. Now here it says to use brown sugar. We never have brown sugar, so I have some regular sugar. Next question is, what is your guilty pleasure book? The guilty pleasure book is probably the Christy Miller series because it's kind of super dumb and it's like really cheesy and lame, and it's honestly not even that well written. But it's also entertaining, like the same thing with the To All the Boys movie. Now that we've whisked our butter and sugar, we're gonna add the eggs. I have 2 eggs, the vanilla, 2 teaspoons, and it says like flaked sea salt, but I don't have that, so I'm just using iodized salt. The next question is, what is your guilty pleasure YouTube channel? I had a phase of Brooklyn and Bailey where I was like, these girls are really dumb and like annoying, but also like entertaining. So I didn't subscribe to them. I just watched their videos because I was entertained, even though I thought it was stupid. I also watch sometimes like Cody Co or Kelsey, whatever her name is. Even though she annoys me, it's like entertaining sometimes to watch. And Cody Co, he usually cusses too much for my taste, but sometimes he can be really funny. What is objectively the best Disney princess movie of all time? Not Frozen. Are reindeers really better than people? Yes, reindeers are better than people, especially better taste. I'm gonna guess how much salt. Because I'm lazy like that? We'll have to hope that was right. How many donkeys does it take to change a light bulb?
How many donkeys does it take to change a light bulb? Well, I gave an answer here that I think is really stupid. I don't even know what it means. So I'm just gonna say it takes 4.
If you could have any animal as a pet, but after 5 years of growing attached to it, you had to eat it, what animal would you choose? I think definitely a pigeon. Next I have some questions from, more questions from Mason, but I'm gonna come back to those and I'm gonna go to some questions from Dan. How many questions do we have to ask before they become too many? As many as you want. Am I just following along with Mason to annoy you? Yes, you are. Do you think T-Series will surpass PewDiePie? I don't know. I mean, it's a really important war. I feel like it's just gonna keep going and going, and then just eventually either T-Series will take over or it'll just die out. But at this point, it's just kind of getting old. Now I've got my flour, so I'm just stirring that in. Next, I'm gonna stir in my chocolate, the best part of the whole meal. And I'm also gonna put in some coconut. And I'm gonna answer some questions from Yaik Bin here. Probably said that wrong, but that's okay. This first one is pretty complicated. I'm putting in 2 cups of these, by the way. 3 cups. If you were unanimously and democratically chosen by the citizens of Botswana to be their queen, with fully limitless and unchecked powers, with the only stipulation being that you'd have to turn the nation into the most successful in Africa within a decade, what would be your first course of action?
Again, my answer here was incredibly lame. I gave some answer like I would hire someone else to rule for me or something, which is, I don't even remember what I said. It's really dumb. My first course of action actually would be to give everyone like a free ice cream cone on once a year, and then everyone would love me and more people would come to my country and be happy, and it would be a great country.
What are some of your short-term creative goals? I want to get this video out and edited before March.
Ha! That's a nice joke.
But that's probably not going to happen. I want to write more because it's been a while and I haven't written as much as I want to. I have other videos I want to get out. I want to do collaboration. If seagulls fly over the sea, what fly over the bay? I feel like I should have some kind of like cute, like sarcastic response, like something interesting, but all I'm going to say is bagels. What? I'm just adding some random coconut. Do I have a amount? No. How do you get your hair to be nice and curly? How I get my hair to be nice is by telling it, be nice hair, play well with others. How I get it to be curly, it curls naturally. So right now I got out of the shower and I didn't put any stuff in it, so it's kind of like frizzy and the curls aren't as tight, but normally I just put a little bit of gel in it after I brush it, and the only time I brush it is when it's wet, so when I get out of the shower. The end. Do you prefer when guests show up to your party late or early? The only party I have ever had was my 9th birthday party, and I don't remember when the guests showed up because it was my only party for a reason. But if I had a party, I wouldn't mind them to be late, even though I hate being late, because then I'd have, the later they get there, I can still kick them out earlier. So like if you get there at 7 instead of 6, I can still say, oh, it's 9, I need you guys to leave. And then I can get less time with people being there. Yeah! When winter causes the temperature to be -2, what are your preferred warm food and or drinks to consume? The temperature has never been -2 where I live. I live in Florida. 40 degrees is cold for us here, which is kind of depressing, but oh well. If it was -2, I would die of happiness and also probably die. But my favorite warm food and drinks to consume anywhere when it's cold is I really like to make hot chocolate and make it like with milk instead of with water, because water's like, you know. I actually hate soup, but if it's like a thick, like nice creamy soup like Panera Bread makes, like broccoli cheddar or like a potato soup, that's good. You know, basically the soup that's way less good for you, that's the kind of. Do you have any board game recommendations? Another thing I don't really like is board games, but for like a fun one, I really like Codenames because it's good to play with a lot of people and it's easy to learn and stuff. I also really like Dutch Blitz. I don't play it that much, but I like to play it at camp with my friends and it gets really competitive.
The ironic thing is both those games are played with only cards, so they're not board games.
What is your favorite book from the genre historical fiction? One of my favorite books of all time is historical fiction, and that is The Book Thief. I adore that book so much. I actually saw the movie first in theaters, and then I read the book, and I love them both. So what's the most recent Bible verse that you've memorized? I think the most recent passage I was working on is Psalm 118, which I haven't finished. What is the history behind dairy drinks being pasteurized? I have literally no idea, and I would take the time to look it up, but I'm not going to do that on the video because I'm lazy. What is a reputable charity or similar cause that deserves a mention? A cause that deserves a mention in general is whatever local place in anyone watching this in your area that is like a women's center that is the opposite of Planned Parenthood. So it's kind of helping give women guidance and help without encouraging them to have abortions. Thank you for your questions. They're great. Now we have a question from Elizabeth Rag. How many siblings do you have? Are you an only child? I have 6 siblings, as you well know, my dear. I have so many siblings I can't count. I want your life. DM me if you're interested in adopting me. Lots of love. Yes, I'll adopt you. Sure. Okay. And we close off with some more questions from Mason M. How many questions are we allowed to ask? As many as you want. Can we ask as many questions as we want? Yes, you may. Will all of our questions be featured? Yes, they will.
So I didn't use every single question, but in my defense, that's because some of them, like, I didn't have good answers for, or like they just didn't fit, or they weren't relevant because I put out this video like 2 months late. So yeah.
What kinds of questions should we ask? Not dumb, lame, annoying, repetitive ones. What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? Birds aren't real, so is this you selling out? Yes, it is. If you sell out, will you make more Fortnite videos? No, I'm probably never making another Fortnite video unless I find like something really good to do. Like going and watching all the different Fortniters I've never seen and seeing which one I think is the coolest or the dumbest. And oh, that's not a bad idea. Actually, I might do that. But no more Fortnite videos. Those are all the questions, guys. So I'm just gonna stick this in the oven, and then I will show you all what they look like when they're done. Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. No. So we have the finished product, and it fell apart, so it looks like trash. You can be in the shot.
I'm here to verify that she's not lying that it tastes, good or bad or whatever. So definitely my first bite. I definitely haven't had already like 7 bites, but that is very hot. It's like shoving the whole thing down your face.
It's good. It's hot, but it's good. I'm proud of me. It took so much out of me.
You can quote me on that. It's good.
Beautiful.
Thanks for watching, kids. Have a good day and a good life and all that stuff. Thanks to everyone who asked me questions. Shut up! And thanks for watching the video, and bye.